Hi, and welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to start talking about inheritance, which is one of the object-oriented basic concepts and have a potential to a very confusing interview question. I assume you already are familiar with inheritance and have some experience using it. But before diving into details, looking on sample code and trying to answer interview question, let's define inheritance. Inheritance can be defined as the process where one class acquires the method of member variable of another. With the use of inheritance, the information is made manageable in an hierarchical order. The class which inherits the properties of another is known as subclass. It's sometimes also called derived class or child class. The class whose properties are inherited is known as superclass. It's sometimes also called base class, parent class. In my lesson, I will use all of the terms, because in every interview the interviewer can use other terms and mix them as well. You should get used to it. Okay, after this short alignment, let's take a look on the sample code. The code is on section 4 under Computrade Inheritance Start. Let's open the color class. Color has a constructor with a system out println which says printed from the color constructor, and also a fill method with system out println inside color fill method. Now we have three classes which are inheriting from color: blue, green, and red. Let's take a look on the blue class. So first its extends color. It has a constructor with a system out println which says printed from the blue constructor. And it also overriding fill method and having a different system out println inside blue fill method. The same goes for green and red classes. Okay, now let's see our main class. In the main class, we are first creating instance of color and calling it fill method. After that, we create an instance of blue, green, and red and calling their fill method. Let's run this code and see what happened. Okay, the interesting thing to notice here is that I can instantiate the parent class and activate its fill method like any other class. When instantiating the child class, the JVM initializing the parent constructor first, and only after that initializing the child class. The important thing I would like to see here is that for each child initialization we have two lines written into the console: printed from color constructor, printed from blue constructor, printed from color constructor, and printed from the green constructor, printed from the color constructor, and printed from the red constructor. Okay, we can understand that the order of the initialization is from parent to child. What about when activating the fill method? In this case, the fill method of the parent class wasn't called. Why is that? Because it was overridden. Overriding method is an important and very useful in object-oriented programming language, and it gives us the ability to define a behavior that is specific to the subclass type. In our example, we saw the subclass implementation of the fill method is different for each of the blue, red, and green classes. We will discuss more about overriding in the next lesson, but for now, let's just understand the idea of it. Continue with me to the next lesson, in which we will review interview questions which are related to the basic inheritance concept we just saw.